This is Desiree. We're here on December 12th, 2016, and we were working on how to hear phrase changes. So, we talked about the same warm-ups we've been doing for the past couple of weeks. They're on 2 weeks ago's video if you haven't already done them. But essentially we pointed when we heard the ones of each 8 in music. We just did it standing there, and then we did it not in partnership, but standing by ourselves, doing 6-count patterns and pointing when we hear the 1. From there, we went back to standing still, and we pointed while we heard the 1, and did 5 fingers when we heard a phrase change. So that was good practice. From there, we kind of cut out hitting the 1s. I think you guys were pretty much okay with that. If you feel like you weren't comfortable, you can of course keep doing that, but I wanted to focus on hearing the phrase change since that was the new element. So we just stood there, and we did 5 fingers when we heard the phrase change. The first song we used was I'm Not the Only One by Sam Smith, which we discovered was phrased regularly, which means that each phrase is 32 beats long, so I could just count from 1 to 32, and 33 would be a phrase change. Just every single time I could do that throughout the entire song. That's great if you find that happens, but often that won't be the case. So it's important to think about hearing the music build, and hearing how the sentence is about to change, and that's how to hear the phrase change, as opposed to just counting to 32. So the next song we used was Breathe by Years and Years. I'm not going to put these on the video just in case they get taken down by copyright laws, but I would strongly recommend you go home and look that song up. Once again, it's Breathe by Years and Years. That was irregularly phrased, so the normal lyrical part was 32 beats long, and then sometimes there'd be little tags. There was one that was 16 beats, there was one that was only 8 beats, so it's good to kind of hear those and practice hearing phrase changes. The next thing we talked about was major and minor phrase changes, how with the song, especially like I'm Not the Only One does this, a lot of times the lyrics will be in 64 beat chunks, which is 2 32 beat phrases. So there'll be what's called a minor phrase change, which is a lot smaller and sometimes harder to hit, that happens in the middle of the lyrics, and then a major phrase change, which happens on the transition from the verse to the chorus. So the part goes, you say, right? We could all hear that one, it's very, very obvious. It's like the exclamation point at the end of the sentence, but singing is terrible. So from there we danced in partnership. This is where we didn't do fancy patterns leaders because we have 4 6-count basics. We have the left side pass, the right side pass, the push break, and the push break tug. These will look familiar for those of you that are in the beginner class. So these are the patterns that we used, and then we pointed with 5 fingers when we heard the phrase change. It's important to remember that the point of this exercise is to point when we hit the phrase change, not to do the patterns. Patterns are just kind of like to keep you doing something. Dance, hear a phrase change, point with 5 fingers. So that was your class. Thank you all for coming, and next week we will be working on what to do when you hear a phrase change coming. Since you can't learn to hit things until you can hear things. So now that you can hear things, next week we can hit them.
Thank you.
Hope you all